Okay, good morning everybody. So, in the last class we talked about the constructors. So we learned that constructors are used to initialize the instance variables. And constructors are used to create an object from the class. Right? So, that's about the constructors. You generally don't put any logic in the constructors. You take the arguments and as is initialize your instance variables so that when you call the methods, your instance variables are ready to be used by the methods. So that is about the constructors, right? Now in constructors example, I wanted to show you something here. We have done some example here, right? Oh. Okay. So in this car class, we have win, make, model as the instance variables, and we are taking, let's say in this constructor we are taking win number, make, and model, and here we are taking make and model. So whatever the values that we got it, we are putting them in the instance variables, and then we are using them in other methods, right? Let's say, see here, what I'm expecting is actually make here, right? Make and model, right? Here, I wanted to use the variable called make. I wanted to use the variable called model, okay? Because that is what actually makes sense, right? So, I wanted to say that make equal to make, model equal to model, okay? So, what I'm saying here is that take this, your argument make, and then put it into the instance variable make. So whatever the value that has been passed in your constructor, take it and put it into your instance variable. So I wanted to use the same variable name as my instance variable. But here, when I use the same variable name, your compiler is getting confused, saying that, hey, which one are you talking about? And in fact, it is thinking that this is the variable I'm talking about. It is not realizing that I'm talking about my instance variable make. I wanted to take this value of make and put it into the instance variable make. The reason these fields are called instance variables are because every instance has a separate copy of the values. As I told you before, these are called instance variables because every instance has a separate copy of it. So if you have two different instances, those two different instances have two different wins, two different makes, two different models. They don't share. Okay, so when you call instance 1.start, it will use instance 1's details. When you say instance 2.stop, it will use instance 2's details. So every instance or every object has its own copy of these values. That is why these are instance variables, instance specific variables. Okay, so I want to take the value that you passed in my constructor and pass it or I will use it to initialize this particular instance's make. This particular instance's make, meaning I'll be using it to initialize this instance make. So when I say this instance make, I'm talking about the instance variable make. I'm not talking about the variable name that you passed it. In that case, so if you want to reference to an instance variable in your class, especially this particular instances variable, meaning instance variable. So all the instance variables in your class are referenced actually with this keyword. So there is a keyword in Java called this. So when you say this dot make, so what I'm talking about is, hey, I'm talking about this instances make, meaning instance variable make. This is what I'm talking about. So what I'm saying here is that I will take whatever is passed here. Okay, I'm taking your make and I'm assigning into this instance's make. So this particular instance variable is getting initialized with the value that you are passing. So this dot make equal to make. So we need to understand this statement here today, right now. The reason is, from here onwards we will be using this statement probably 1,000 times. Especially in the constructors. When you use the constructors, what happens is, constructors and this has got nothing to do with each other. Please don't get me wrong there. This means this particular instances variable. This particular instance variables are referenced with this. So it is especially makes sense when you want to have these variable names exactly same in your constructor and your instance variable. Here my instance variable name is make, but my argument name is also make. Whatever you passed it here, this make, I want to put it, I want to assign it to my instance variable make. How do I do that? This dot make. When I say this dot make, I'm talking about the instance variable, this instances make, because every instance will have its own copy, right? So wherever you execute it, that particular instance you're talking about. So what it means? Instance variable. In a nutshell, when you say this dot, that means instance variable you're talking about. I'm not talking about maybe there is a make called a local variable. If you define a variable inside a method, that is called a local variable. Even though you call it as a make of the car here, let's say I created a variable called make here. Okay? Make equal to something. But when you say this dot make, I'm not talking about this make, I'm not talking about this make, I'm talking about the instance variable make is what I'm saying here. Okay? So it is a very, very, very general practice and general convention, and you will do it 100% of the times, that when you create a constructor, you will obviously use the constructor to initialize these instance variables, right? So it is generally, we all follow that. We keep the same variable name so that we all understand it. But that is why we use here this keyword, meaning I'm talking about the instance variable make. So whatever the values that you are passing, I'm putting it to, or I'm assigning it to instance variable make. So this dot model equal to model. So there is no confusion here. I'm taking this model here and I'm putting into, or I'm assigning into my instance variable model. And the same thing you can do it here. So you don't need to, now you do not need to use different variable names anymore. You do not, I intentionally use these variable names differently because I didn't talk about this keyword yet, that point. But now I don't have to. See, when make model, I can use the same, but here, okay. So I'm taking the when and I'm putting into, I'm assigning whatever the value that you passed in when, I'm assigning it to this instance variable when. So I'm going to call it this dot when, this dot make, and this dot model. On the same page? Understood? In fact, it is so popular, so common that you don't need to write these constructors on your own. Right click. So you have a when, make, and model, right? If you want to create a constructor, right? Right click, source, generate constructor using fields. Now select your constructor. What are all the fields that you're taking? I want all of these fields. Okay. Then your constructor, you're asking, I want a public constructor. Sure. See here, public, car, string when, string make, string model. See, so he's using the same variable names. We didn't talk about this one, so don't worry about it. But here, see how I'm taking it. I'm taking this value of when and I'm putting into this dot when, meaning instance variable when. I'm taking it make, I'm putting into instance variable make, instance variable model. Did we get that? And you can overload to have one more constructor. You can say source, generate constructor using fields, and now this time I don't need, there you go. So you can create the constructors like that. Your Eclipse will help you do that. Now you got two constructors. You can create as many constructors as possible. So this is about this keyword. Are we all on the same page? Everything is clear? Yeah?
Yes.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Oh boy, a lot of sound.
Yes. So but when we call this variable to the main method, we just say win, right? Not this win.
Say that again.
When we call this make or model in the main method, like in the car demo, if you say car one.
Okay. Oh, let's go there. Okay.
So here you're saying C make, right? So no need to.
Bed. Oh, here. That's it.
So this make, no need to put C dot this make. Just C dot make will work, right?
That's a great point. Outside of this object, you will never use this for this one. When you say this here, you are talking about car demos instance variable. Understand that. When you say this, you are talking about the instance of the car demo, because wherever you have used this, understand this one. If I'm using this anywhere here, I'm talking about my object, which is car demo. I'm not talking about somebody else. This is that. Agree? When I use this here, let's say car demo has a variable called int number of cars. Okay? If you want to reference it in a separate method, okay, public int get me or increase count, public void increase count or something like that. Okay, so here when I say this dot number of cars, so when I say this here, I'm talking about this object wherever I am in right now. Where am I in? I'm in car demo. So I'm talking about this dot number of cars. Are we getting it? Are we getting it? So yes. I can't use this outside of this class. when I talk about it. When I use this here, I'm talking about this particular object. But here, when I use this here, I'm talking about we are in car, and I'm talking about the instance variable of this here. Is that very clear?
Okay.
Any confusion at all?
Okay.
But that's a very good question. Only current class, yes.
I have.
Yes.
There is car demo and there is a can you open it? Yes. There is c dot make. If I will give c dot this make, so what will he take?
There is no such thing called c dot this make. Simple. My point is that you can never,
Okay.
you will never use this in that context. The mainly, so you are using this to reference to the instance variables or the instance that you are in. But you already have an instance here, Madhavi. This C is already pointing to this particular car already, right? You don't
Okay.
need,
Yeah.
here you are talking about, hey, I'm talking about this particular instance. Wherever the instance that I'm part of it, I'm using those instance variables. But here you already got handle of that object reference, which is C. When you say C dot make, you are actually pointing to that particular object, right? C is referencing to that particular object, this particular object. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So this is used only in that particular class. So when I say this in any class, I'm talking about, hey, the class that I'm in right now, that particular instance variable. You can also use it for this instance methods, but we don't need to talk about it. So for now, you understand that this is only for those instance variables. And this is how we typically use it. And here also, remember, if you have a confusion, right? Hey, look at it, all of you. This is even those are very good questions, actually, all of you. And this could even be the better one. Probably I can explain better here. Look at it. When I start here, starting when, make, model. Let's say there is a variable called when here, right? When equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Somehow I hard coded it. Okay. Now, when I say when, which when I'm talking about? I'm talking about this particular, in this local variable when. But my intention is not to reference to this when. I want to reference to my instance variable. Whatever is stored in my instance variable, how do I reference it? Even though I have a when here, but I don't want it. See here, we all need to understand something here. I have a one when in my as a local variable. I have another when as my instance variable. I want to reference to the instance variable when. In that case, you will say this dot when. When I say this dot when, that means I'm talking about instance variable when. Okay? Now, if I use a just when, now, so here I'm talking about this guy, the instance variable when, and here just referenced when, that means I'm talking about the local variable when. Every single time I'm saying this dot, then I'm talking about instance variable, instance variable, instance variable. Write it down in your brain as is like that. Make sense? Any questions?
Local variables means this is only for the this particular method, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So local variable, meaning a variable that is defined inside the method, is called a method level variable or local variable. See here, in this method, I needed a variable. Okay, in this case, I called it when, but whatever it is, right? String name equal to something. Okay. So here I'm defining a variable here, and this is called a local variable or method level variable, meaning the scope of this variable is only within that method. Remember when we talked about the for loops, the scope of the variable that is defined for that particular for loop, once you come out of that for loop, the scope is gone, that variable is gone. But here, if you define a variable inside the method, it is good in that whole entire method body. See here, whatever I highlighted here, this is the complete start method. Let's say the start method has 2000 lines of code. This name will be, since you defined here as the first one, so all the rest of the lines of code, all the 2000 lines, they will have access to it. But the moment you go here to a different method, your name is not visible. If I try to reference it like this, if I try to use it something like this, your compiler will slap us and say that, sorry dude, I don't understand what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean name. I don't see a variable called name here because this guy can't see these variables. These are called method level variables or local variables. But when I say this, I only mean one thing, instance variable. Are we all crystal clear? Absolute perfection, huh? Very good.
Yes, I am clear about this variable declared under method, but you said that we can declare the same variable under constructor too, right? So can we do that, or?
That is what we did here, right?
Yeah, but this is from the instance variables, but you said that we can create a local variable under constructor.
Oh,
Is
yeah, something like this. Okay, so okay.
If we create a constructor like this, if we create a local variable under the constructor, then how will we use it? Because we are going to use the constructors
right?
from the instance. Yeah.
Like this, right? Okay. How can I use this name? You can't.
Yeah. Where will I use that?
You can only use it within this block of code. From here onwards, if I want to write here something like that, right? Let's say I'm printing here. Okay, I'm printing. I'm utilizing the code written by. Okay, something like this. Here, I want to use it. That's it. See, I'm able to reference here. Whatever the variable that I defined here, I'm able to reference here. And I can do it here also. I can do it here also. I can do it here also. That's it. After that, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
So this is also a local variable. I mean, I see where you guys are going actually. So when I said here local variable, hey, you said it's a method level variable or a local variable. Okay, any block of code. Okay. In the for loop we did, right? In the for loop we wrote, here also this is a variable. Here we defined a variable here. Okay. See here, this I is good only for this block of code. Once you come out of it, you can't use I. Make sense? And similarly, here, whatever you declared here, that is good within that block of code. Make sense?
Yeah.
Venkat, I have a question.
Absolutely.
Now suppose you're using the string, say suppose you have a string win instance variable created here in the class car. Now I want to use this value of the win number, whatever it is here in the car demo. So is there any way that this keyword will help us to fetch the value there, or is it using this variable? I mean, this keyword is only respective to the class only. We can't can we move from class to pass the value from class? You
cannot. I think someone just asked that. No, you absolutely can't, Rohit. Okay. You can't. This, I'm only talking about, I'll repeat it, see here, because this, I'm talking about this instance. The reason they called it this is because every instance has a separate copy of the instance variable, right? Every instance has a separate copy of it, right? Okay. When I say this here, let's say win, make, model. Win, make, model. You said car C1 equal to new car C2 equal to, this is C1, C2, C3, C4. You created 4 different cars with obviously 4 different win, make, model combinations. Agree? So here, when somebody calls this particular method or the constructor, okay, when you say this, so what I'm talking about is, I'm talking about this particular instance, boy. I'm talking about this particular, wherever I am in right now, that particular instance. Later I'll talk about something called static. Okay, those static variables are actually stored somewhere here, and everybody will have access to it. Every instance will have access to it. But here, when you say this, hey, I'm talking about this particular instance, my own copy, this particular instance variable. Did you get that?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll explain one more time. Not a problem at all. If you guys didn't get it.
That's clear.
So the reason we call it this is because I'm saying that, hey, I'm talking about this particular, I'm not talking about your local variable. I'm not talking about a global variable called static. We didn't talk about static, but don't worry. Static variables are actually shared by every single instance. Every instance can see them. So this guy is talking about, hey, I'm not talking about that static variable. I'm talking about this, meaning I'm talking about this particular instance specific. Every instance has a separate copy of the instance variable. Get it? Now,
Yeah.
you are here as a car demo. Okay? Now, you being an outsider, car demo, you can't say this. So when you call this guy through an object reference, this guy behind the scenes, any of the methods, right? When you say c dot start, when you say c dot start here, this guy is using within that, when you say this dot when, meaning I'm talking about, hey, I'm talking about this particular instance. I'm not talking about that the global static thingy. I'm talking about this particular instance. Make sense? Right, did you get that? Everybody got it?
Yes, Venkat.
Wonderful. So that is about this keyword. Now let's talk about something else, but it's very popular convention. We always use it. And in fact, constructors, as I showed to you, Eclipse will do it. Eclipse will do it. Right click source. Eclipse will do it. Right click source. Okay. Now, let's talk about, we have this car example, right? We have win, make, model. And let's say that int current gear, and then int current speed. Okay. And then I'll also say int maximum speed. Okay. Now, imagine in your car, imagine in your car, so you have the brakes and you have the gas pedal, right? So you can put your foot on gas, and that's how you increase it. Okay. Let's say in our cars, let's say they give you a keyboard, okay, small, big keyboard, okay, and then rather than giving you a gas, they ask you to enter what speed you want to go to. They gave you a keyboard here, a small keyboard here, like this, okay, and now car is asking you to enter the speed that you want to go in. Let's say current speed is 50 miles per hour, and then you just enter 6 and 9, then car will go at 69 miles per hour. Imagine that. So whatever the number that you enter here, directly your car will put it into the current speed. Car directly will enter into the current speed. Let's say a crazy guy like me, he entered something like a 7689. So I want my current speed as 7,689 miles per hour. Can you imagine? So it directly puts the current speed as 7689 because he gave you access to change this current speed directly. Hey, you go ahead and enter your current speed, and I'll go in that speed. So you're asking car to go at that speed, 7,689 miles per hour. Can it go? Isn't it crazy? Isn't it very dangerous to give that kind of access to the outside people? I mean, to the drivers of the car? Anybody, right? Can you do that? Are you all getting where I'm going? See here. So when I constructed the car here, car C equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, BMW X3, I just started it, and I'll just say, I'll take out this one, I'll take out this one, I'll take out this one. Okay. I just started it, and then I'm saying that the current speed equal to, I can give any int, right? 7649. Okay. And then, yeah. So now the car is going at 7,649 miles per hour. Does that make any sense at all? Or can it go? And do you all realize how dangerous it is to give access to be able to change the current speed? By changing the current speed, the car is going at that speed. Can you do that in the real world? I'm asking everyone. Is that a good idea? Okay. So you should only access.
Yeah, you can go to India in 1 hour.
Sorry?
You can go to India in 1 hour.
You can go to India in 1 hour, yes. Right? So, that's a good one. Did you all realize how dangerous it is to ask the users of the car, hey, go ahead and enter your speed and I'll go in that speed? But unfortunately, this class is designed that way. This particular car class is designed that way. We gave this current speed variable and we're asking them to change it. I mean, anybody can change it. The current speed, that is how he's going. That is how he's accelerating. His intention is somewhat he wanted to do 76.49, but he did 7649. Right? And unfortunately, even though user made a mistake, in your car class, you should correct him, right? you should do some checks and balances here. So you want to make sure that he's not a crazy guy like me. So you want to make sure that he did not enter more than the maximum speed. Even though he enters more than maximum speed, you cannot go more than maximum speed. And you do not want this maximum speed to be altered. See here, I can change my maximum speed. Oh, that's another good point here. Maximum speed. I will say maximum speed is 120,000 miles per hour. Am I talking about car or rocket or probably even, it's even the craziest one, right? So I can change my maximum speed. Oh, so everybody, whoever creates the car, they can change their maximum speed and you enter the current speed and go. Huh? Are you thinking about how dangerous objects we are designing in the real world? What happens if the car is exactly designed this way? It's extremely dangerous, right? So that is why you want to expose only the right piece of information. You don't want to give full control to your users of the particular car. You want to give a right interface. That is why the real car designers have given us nice accelerator and apply brakes. It does a lot of engineering behind the scenes. It will, even though you accelerate, if the car's maximum speed is 140 miles per hour, even though you give it or you sit on it for 1 hour, it doesn't go more than 140 miles per hour. It will look at what is the current speed and what's the maximum speed and how much pressure you are applying. Based on all of this, it will go, eventually it comes to 140, but no matter what you do, you can't go beyond your maximum speed. But where can we put all of those logics? When you want to accelerate, I want to make sure that I'm not going beyond the maximum speed of a car. And first of all, I do not want to let the users change the maximum speed of a car. That has been fixed by the government. And nobody should be able to change it. That's the first thing. And number two, it doesn't matter how much you accelerate. First of all, I don't want to let my users enter their numbers. Okay, my current speed is 76.49 or 76 miles per hour. I do not want to. I rather want to give a nice interface. I rather want to give a nice utility or nice way, like accelerating, right? So you just keep pressing this one and I will slowly increase the speed. And once it comes to the maximum speed, I will not, no matter what you do, I will not go more than that. Otherwise, we will end up with the most dangerous situation, most dangerous cars in the world, right? So my point here is that you do not want to give the full control to the users. You should never give the full control to the users. Have them. So understand their requirements, understand that they need to be able to accelerate, understand that they need to be able to apply the brakes, and use your logic inside that and make sure you're not going above the maximum speed. So this kind of logic can only be done in methods. This logic can only be done in the methods because methods are the blocks of code. You can write some logics there. You can write if condition, whatever the constructs that we have learned so far. You can write if else blocks. You can write for loop. You can write while loop. You can do all of this. But if you give users just these variables, if you expose these variables as is, these instance variables, then we will end up with the crazy systems like I just talked about. So driver of the car will enter the speed that they want to go in. That's very, very, very dangerous. So do not give 100% control. Do not give 100% control, and do not expose everything to your users. Expose only whatever makes sense. Do not expose everything. Expose only whatever makes sense. Expose it with the proper interface, meaning expose it with the proper usage, like proper methods, where you can write, where you can apply some logic. You can't apply any logics here, right? User has to do all of that logic here. But why would you want user to do it? You rather hide them. Hide the data if it does not make sense to be used or to be exposed to the users. Hide the data. And in the object-oriented world, that is called encapsulation. That is called encapsulation. Or data hiding. Hide everything that is possible and expose a nice interface. So you have in the real world car also, see if you look at the start, right? Underneath the car, really if you look at it, there are two cables here, two wires or two cables. So you need to connect them to be able to start your car. But he's not giving these two cables. That is what is exactly happening under the hood. But he's not giving you the two cables and say that, hey, go ahead and connect the dots. No, he's giving you a very nice interface. He's giving you a very nice key or keyless entry, or keep your key in your pocket somewhere and then press this start button. These recent cars, they have that start button and stop button, right? But once you press the start button or stop button, what exactly is happening? Under this hood, he's actually connecting these two wires so that the cars will start. So he's hiding this interface. He's hiding it and exposing something else to the user. Because you want to give a better experience to the users of the objects. Right? When you accelerate, so all you're doing is they're giving you a smart pedal like this, and then you press your foot down here, slowly then goes. But underneath it, what happens to increase the speed? There's so much going on. So many objects will interact. It will talk to engine, it will check the current speed, it will check the maximum speed, it will do the lot of calculations. But do you know all of that? Can you do to that level? No. There is only one high-level method called accelerate. But under the hood, he's actually checking what is the current speed. You are not actually, he's not giving you a keyboard like this and you are not entering, my current speed is this one. That will be the craziest system. So he's hiding all of that. He's hiding all of that from users of it. So hide. If you do not hide, you are giving too much control to him and he can do anything. Hide everything possible and then expose a nicer interface to your customers. Like exactly how car does. And apply brakes also. So apply brakes is a small function here. But if you look at it, once you apply the brake, It needs to communicate. It needs to check with what is the current speed and how, what's the traction here, and then whether it's a two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, what exactly is going on. It needs to communicate with all the wheels. So much going on. But everything is hidden under the hood. But all you are doing is exposing just one nicer interface, and that is called data hiding. So, or encapsulation. So you need to hide. And how can we hide? Well, for that hiding, now from this point onwards, I want you to ask this question. We need to go back to every single method, every single variable. Now we need to ask, hey, is there any harm in exposing it? Win, make, model. I'm asking you, win, make, model. He can change. So c.win, after you created the car, he's saying you can say c.win, and then you say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Can you ever change your win after you constructed a car? Can you ever change the win number after you constructed a car? You will never. And you can also do c.make equal to, you can change the make. So you can change the model. So you can change the make and model and win of a car. Can you ever do that? Is that a good design? Do you want to let users be able to change the win, make, model of a car? Absolutely no. You never want to do that. So it's a bad design. So you're not hiding it properly. You are not hiding it properly. And you are letting your users change the maximum speed? Seriously? You are letting your users change the current speed, directly enter the current speed and he'll go that way? You want to do that? Extremely bad design. Don't want to do that. Now I want you to think in that direction. Okay, I want to hide. Now you may be thinking, yes, I don't want to. My first objective here is that I don't want anyone to change their win, make, model after the car is constructed. I do not want to. So how can we do it? So yeah, understand the real world, understand whatever you are saying here. How can we do it in Java? You've been telling me stories, but let's get to the real stuff. How can I do it in Java? Well, Java has provided us ways, or any object-oriented programming language out there. It's not only Java, it's any object-oriented programming language out there. They provided these access modifiers. They call it access modifiers, meaning you can change the access. You can change the access. You can define, hey, this particular variable can only be accessed by these people. This method can only be called by these people. And this method can be called by everybody in the world. Yes. So you can do that way. So Java people has given us a few Java keywords. One of them is called private. So when you give private access modifier, okay, it has this meaning. So your instance variables, your variables can be private. So if all you have to do is just give private before your type. Your type is string and the variable name is win, right? So before the type, you just say private. So what you are saying here is this win visibility is private. This variable's visibility is private, meaning these instance variables can only be accessed by the members of this particular class. Can only be accessed by the members of this particular class. Outside of this class, this when is not accessible anymore. What do you mean by members of the class? Well, what I mean by that is your constructors are members of the class. Your methods that are defined within this class are members of the class. Okay, so your start method can use this when. This constructor can use this when. This constructor can use this when. This stop method can use this when. But your car demo cannot do it. See, already your compiler started complaining. The field car.when is not visible. That when is not visible anymore because you declared it as private. So that's what private means. It is visible only within the class. And then you also want to say that private make private model, right? Because we do not want our users to change the VIN make model after a car gets constructed. That is why we made them private. Fantastic. And we do not want our users to change we do not want our users to enter the current gear. Imagine in your car there is a keyboard and say, hey, enter your gear number. Okay, I'll enter gear number 123. Does it make any sense? No, you do not want to expose it to the outside world. Okay, so it's private. And current speed should not be modified directly. Rather, we have to give some other interface, right? We have to give some other interface. And then your maximum speed absolutely can't be modified by the users of your car. So that needs to be private too. So this is one modifier called private. And now, don't think that private is used only for the instance variables. Let's say there is a method. Okay, there is a method, and that method, you wrote some utility method that is useful only within the car. Nobody should use that outside of this particular car. In that case, you can write a private method. So just say private. Let's say you're calculating int plus. I'm giving you another int A, int B. You needed something like this is required only for this particular class. Okay? This is a private method. So private can be used for methods also. Private methods can only be accessed by those other members of the car, meaning other methods can use them. So the start method can use the plus method, stop method can use the plus method, and others. Okay. So private variables and private methods. And there is one more. This is about private. There is one more called default or no access modifier. This is also called no access modifier, meaning let's say you did not put any access modifier. This is access modifier, right? So here, see, I did not put private. I did not put any access modifier here. That is called default. I directly put method return type and method name. These methods are these variables. If I remove this private here, this is called default access modifier because I did not use any access modifier. And the default access modifier, either variables or methods, they are visible by not only that particular class, but by all the classes within that particular package. All classes within that package, all the classes within the package can access meaning this is your you're putting in constructor, right? So car demo is also in that particular package. So car demo also can access it. Once I take out this win here, right? Let's say private. I'll take out the private for win. And now you're good here, see? Because your car demo is also within the same package. But if you try to use in any of these classes, these are outside of this particular package. So in that case, it will say that, sorry boss, this win is default access modifier, and default access modifier variable can only be accessed by the classes within that package. Make sense? That is called default access modifier. And the same case with the methods also. These methods, see here, I don't have any access modifier here, any access modifier. So these two methods can be used by the classes within that particular package. That's about the default. And the next one is public. If you declare anything as public, that means any class, anywhere, any package, anywhere, wherever you are, you can use that particular variable, or you can use that particular method anywhere. It doesn't matter where you are. Whatever the package, you can use it. So we have so far 3. There is one more called protected. We'll talk about that later. But we have so far private, default. Default meaning nothing. There is no word called default. You don't have to put here. You don't want to. There's nothing called default like that. Default void start. No, there is no access modifier called default. If you don't put anything, that's what is default. That's what I mean by default. And there is a last one, public. So private only within the class, default all the classes within the package, and public is everybody in the world. Now, any questions so far? Go ahead, Uma.
Yeah. Normally we used to give, right, int current speed is equal to 140.
Int current speed equal to 140. Okay. Yeah.
So even there, the user will not have control, right? If we give it in the car class, before declaring it as a private field, if we give int current speed is equal to 140, still the user will not have access to the current speed, right? Oh, sorry, I'm talking about the maximum speed, right?
Okay. Now,
So we are setting the maximum speed as 140.
Right.
Right. So.
Right. Okay. Go ahead. Ask your question. Yeah.
So we can do that instead of writing just private, or.
Okay. Let me get to that. So here my point is the maximum speed. Once I take out private here, right? I can say that c dot maximum speed is this crazy number, or for someone like you can do nicely 140. Okay, but you do not want to
there
give
in the car.
One second, I got it. So int maximum speed equal to 140 is your point, right? Fantastic, I got it. So for all the cars in the template itself, what Uma is saying is, in the template itself, let's define all the cars have the maximum speed of 140. Fantastic, Uma. Good people like you will not mess with this one, but for bad people like me, they'll mess it like this. What is stopping you from not changing it? Tell me. After my car is constructed, what is stopping me from not changing the maximum speed? Are you putting any restriction there? So what you are thinking is, hey, I'm in template itself, I'm putting a maximum speed, so you're hoping that nobody will change it. Can you trust? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that a good design? No. You don't want to leave that. Let's imagine all the cars in the world, they will give you with the 140 maximum speed, but you can change it. There is a flexibility for you to change it. For people like you, definitely don't do it. But people like me, go and enter the maximum speed. I'll mess with the maximum speed, definitely. Do you think that's a good idea? Absolutely bad idea, right?
Yeah.
So, one, we want to set it, yes, for all the cars in the world, I mean, in the template itself, as you suggested, yes, we should have a standard maximum speed. At the same time, make it private so that nobody can change it. But this maximum speed should be used by the methods of this particular method. It can be, right? So this maximum speed can be used by this
Yeah.
constructor, this method, this method. Right?
Yeah.
And I'm coming there actually. So now my immediate thing is, so we improved it. Maximum speed perspective, we improved it. We improved the current speed also. Now this guy, he just started the car. Now he needs to drive, right? He needs to drive. Earlier he used to be able to say that C dot current speed equal to 60. So he's driving at 60 miles per hour. But now you put it private, so he can't change it. He can't access to that current speed. So how can he drive? How can he accelerate? Because we hid them. We are hiding these variables because we are thinking that's a very, very bad practice. So what do you think is the good idea now? We are hiding these variables, so we need to provide a way for him to accelerate. Exactly.
Yes.
Create a method called accelerate. Are you all with me? Is it really, you're all getting it, right? It's not difficult, right? So now what we have to do? We have to create a method called accelerate. What would be the return type? The return type could be whatever the speed that he is going at. So I'll say int and then accelerate. Okay? And now we will take by how much? Hey, by how much? Or what speed you want to go? By how much? By how much? Or speed. Okay, whatever. Now in an ideal world, I can do this, right? My current speed equal to current speed plus speed, right? So if I'm currently going at 50 miles per hour and he wants to go 20 more miles, okay, then I'm putting the current speed as 50 plus 20, 70, and then I'm returning the current speed. On the same page now? Now you tell me. So this guy, he created a car here. I can't change VIN. So VIN should be private too, no doubt. VIN should be private. Make, model, all of this should be private. And now C dot accelerate. I'm a crazy guy. I want to go at 1250 miles per hour. And then now I'll say you are now driving at, okay, you are starting at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that's a VIN number, BMW X3. You are now driving at 1250. But this is again crazy, right? Crazy guy like me. Can one of you tell me now what to do? But the maximum speed is only 140. We were hoping that by putting this private, people would be better with the methods. That's what we thought. I think that's why we were hiding this these current speed and maximum speed and everything, and now we are using nicely methods, but methods are not working too. Exactly. The beauty of the methods is that here he can only enter any number here. He can enter any int there and he can go at that speed. But the beauty with the methods is it's a block of code, so you can put some intelligent logic here. Got it? It's an intelligent logic here. Okay. Uma, you're saying this method also should be private. Let's say I make this method private. So how can he accelerate if I make this method as private? If I put a private, then this accelerate method can only be used by these internal methods, and he can't, the user of the car can't use it. So the accelerate method should not be private, right? That should be default at this point. Maybe you can argue that, hey, anybody can do it public. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. Anybody can do it. You can make it public. But the point is, you can make it public or default. We don't have to worry about it because we don't have a lot of users here. But it can be public, not a problem. But my point here is that, again, he's going at crazy. He's entering some crazy numbers like 1250. But we are talking about methods now. We can do some intelligent stuff here. Meaning, let's say I'm declaring a local variable. I'll say that desired speed. So he wants to go at the current speed plus speed. He wants to go at this speed, right? Okay, currently let's say he's going at 50 and he wants to go 20 more miles per hour and his desired speed is 70. Okay, now if we can write the conditional logic, help me here, please. That's fine with the background noise, anything, I mean, make sure you don't have a lot of noise in your rooms, but please, let's make it interactive. If
desired speed is greater than maximum speed.
Excellent. If it's if it's maximum speed, then
desired speed equal.
Tell me.
Increment, you can just make it increment. Desired speed increment.
Desired speed increment. What do you mean?
You can increase the speed from, from current speed to desired speed.
So if your desired, somebody is using speakers. I'm sorry, I have to mute. Only that guy, whoever is using that one. Okay. So now your desired speed is more than maximum speed. But can you go more than maximum speed? You cannot, right?
No.
So all I can do here simply is I will make the maximum speed as my current speed. Good job, Aruna. Yes. I will make my maximum speed as current speed. So if he wants to go at, currently we are going at 100, but he wants to go at another 50 miles per hour, then 150 is greater than 140, then what we'll say is, it doesn't matter, even if you sit on the accelerator, I can only go at 140 miles per hour. So we are only going at 140 miles per hour. Make sense, guys? But otherwise, else, if desired speed is not greater than maximum speed, then what we'll do? What do we do?
Equal to current speed. Desired speed equal to current speed.
No, current speed equal to desired speed. Because
yes.
now we are putting his desired speed, we will make that desired speed as his current speed. Fantastic. So now, and then finally we can print, you are now driving at current speed, whatever that one is. So now let's say I'm accelerating 20 to start with. and then I'm accelerating another 50. Now I'm supposed to go at 70 now. Now let's say another crazy 50. I'm going at 150. Let's say another 50. Let's see what happens, right? See, you are now driving at 20 miles per hour after this one. And then you are now driving at 70 miles per hour. You are now driving at 120 miles per hour. 120 plus 51 is supposed to be 170. But no, he said that you are not driving at 130. Now after this point, you say, you give any crazy number or anything you say, he will say that you are only driving at 140 miles per hour. No matter, even if you sit and jump on the accelerator, I don't go more than 140. So I'm designing the safer cars now. This is the better design. Can you imagine, are you able to imagine the Java principles to the real world example? Is it a good idea? Are you guys getting it? Now you need to think in the real world, hey, is this, can it be private? Can it be, should it be public? Okay, or should it be default? So now, we did it, we did accelerate. Now I have an important point here. Did you look at this one here, win, make, model? These three win, make, model properties, we made them private, okay? Okay? Because we do not want this win, make, model to be ever changed after the object is created, after a car is constructed. We do not want it to be changed. But understand that last point, after the car is constructed. Because at some point you have to give win, make, model, right? If you make them private, then who can assign the values to them? Nobody has access to them, right? Agree they should not be changed, but at least they should be given some initial value, right? That is where the constructors come into picture. That is why we have the constructors. So these three win, make, model should never be changed, so we made them private. Absolutely agree. But they should have some values at the time of the creation of the object. At the time of creation of the car, every car will have a some win, some make, some model. And only at the time of creation of that object we should have it. After the object is created, nobody should be able to change them. That is when you will use this constructor. See, constructors will help you to give the initial values. That is why we're accepting the win, make, model as part of the constructors. See here? In fact, we can take out this constructor also. Earlier we were talking about the constructor overloading. We can give just one constructor here, win, make, model. Now take a look at this one. So you can create the car with your win, with your desired win, desired make, desired model, and now I'm creating the car with that win, make, model. But in your life of the car, you can never change those values because we made them private and we are not giving any access. We are not going to let anyone change it. We can, if required, we can definitely expose the methods and ask them to change the win number, but we don't want to. Are you guys in agreement? We do not want to, because they should never ever be changed. Can you ever change your win number? Even after its death, the win number will stay the same, right? Good. So that's when you'll use the constructors. So constructors are used to provide the initial values to them at the time of the creation. See, at the time of the creation. Yes, Ravi, go ahead. Ask your question.
Hi, Venkat.
Can you just open car.java if you don't mind once? Once you go into that, because you gave private to all the variables over here, right? String, private, string, win. But you told because it's private, they can't change the values in the main method, right?
Yep.
But my question is, in the same scenario, if you are saying you private to a method, and you told this particular method is being calling only in that particular class, like in that particular.
You got it.
thing.
Okay.
But it cannot be called over here in main method. Like
You got
because,
it.
for example, you made private int accelerator with that particular. But what is the exact difference? Why these particular variables can be called in demo, but it can't be changed, but still it can be called, right? Using that particular, and why this method can't be called? Is my question right up there? I don't know whether it is.
I did not get it fully, but let's take it slowly, right? Let's take it. Let's have a conversation, okay? Rather than just one side monologue. Let's talk about it. Let me see what until what point you understood, right? So these variables are private, right? And so these variables cannot be accessed outside of the class. So you can't access them here. C dot when, C dot current speed, C dot current gear. You can't access them outside of your class. Now, you're talking about the private methods. This accelerate is not a private method. The moment I change it to private, okay, even this accelerate method cannot be accessed outside of the class. This accelerate method is a public method. Anybody can access it. But here there is a utility plus method, right? Okay. So this plus method can only be called by these members of the class here. So if for some reason this guy wants to call this one, right? Internally, I'll call the plus for some reason. Okay. See, this method is able to call this particular method because this is a private method. Private method can be accessed by another method of the class. But since, forget about this one, right, for a second. But since accelerate is a public method, this accelerate public method is being called by car demo. And that is how we are accelerating it. Now, you tell me what your question is precisely. Let's talk about it again.
Okay, my question is, if you're making a private in core.java.
Are you talking about this one precisely, Ravi? Variables?
Yes.
Okay.
My question is, if the values are, because you have mentioned it private, the values are not changed. You cannot change the values of that particular string.
No, I'm not saying. First of all, let's keep this straight. Private variables or private methods can only be accessed by members of that particular class. So to reiterate, private variables cannot be seen or private variables are not visible outside of that particular class. Private variables are not visible outside of that particular class. So, one, not only modification, they can't even see. If somebody wants to be able to see, hey, can you tell me what is my current speed? Even they can't even see it. They don't want to do any harm. They don't want to change it. But they can't even see the variable also because that is private. So private variables can't be seen outside of the class. Even I just want to see. But what do you do in that case? Because the danger here, Ravi, and everybody else, I want you to understand something here. You brought up a great point. So the danger here is that I'm okay with viewing the current speed. So I'm taking out this current speed. As long as you view it, I'm okay with that. C dot current speed. He wants to find out what is the current speed here. Okay, I want to find out. I want you to understand this very carefully here. So he just wants to view this guy, right? So I'm okay with this one, but I'm not okay with this one. I don't want you to change to some or any number. But the problem with the variables is that you don't have that fine control with the variables. So meaning you can read it, but you can't write it. You can't restrict in a programming language like that. Are you getting it? That is why I'm restricting it. That is why I'm putting a private. So you can't read or you can't write. You can't do anything. You don't even know that there is a field called current speed. So it's not visible because see that the field car.current speed is not visible. I can't see it. But there should be a way. Somehow I need to change the current speed. Somehow I need to be able to go. I need to be able to accelerate it. Yes, I get it. But not by making this public so that they can change their numbers. No. That is why we are giving them a way to go faster, to accelerate it. That is in the form of method. And now the reason we are going with the method is because the method is a block of code. You can put any restrictions. We can make sure that he's not going more than the maximum speed possible. Because this is a block of code, we can put these if-else conditions and we can we're good. Because we are safe here. And keep in mind, even this method is public, so anybody can call this one. So anybody can call this guy here, and internally this method is changing the current speed. Here current speed is private, and this private variable can be modified the members of that particular class, meaning this method can change it, absolutely, but not the outside guy. So we are not letting outside the class people touch this one. You can't see the current speed. You can't change the current speed. You can't even see the current speed. If you want to, what is the functionality that you want to do it? Well, I need to be able to accelerate it. Earlier, I used to be able to type my current speed and I used to go faster. No, there is a new way of doing things now. You don't have to connect the wires to be able to start it. Back then, probably 40, 50 years back, that was the case. Now, we are providing a nicer interface, nicer methods. Now, have your key in your pocket and just press the start button. Similarly, we provided this method called accelerate to be able to go faster. One, I'm giving you functionality to go faster. And number two, I'm making it safer too. You can't enter any crazy number now because I'm putting a lot of code here to make sure that you are not going above the maximum speed. So this variable is private, so it cannot be accessed outside of the class, but it can be accessed within the class. See, within this particular method, it is able to access the current speed and it is able to change the current speed. But with the proper channel. That proper channel is the method. We are hiding whatever we need to hide and we are exposing it through the methods. We are hiding these instance variables and exposing through the behavior. That is called data hiding or encapsulation. I know you asked something and I said it something else. But now let's see, Ravi, if you got it, or
I got my answer, Venkat. That's what I need to know, because we cannot access what if you are It's only X. It's just hiding. I got my answer actually. What I want to know.
You got it? Okay. Because that's an excellent question. You are little like one step ahead, but you asked the very right question. And I wanted to make sure everybody gets this one. By making it private, I'm not saying these are unmodifiable or something. I'm saying they're not visible. You can't see it. You simply can't see it. You can't, meaning you can't change it. Meaning you can't read it also. Did you get it? But now you may ask me, come on, Venkat, current speed, I get it. I get the point that if you make it non-private, right? If you make it non-private, people enter some crazy numbers and, we want to make sure that he's not going at more than the maximum speed. We get it. But isn't it too much restriction to not being able to see the current speed also? I agree with you guys. He can't even see. See, in this method we are able to give it, but let's say he is currently, let's say after C dot start, C dot accelerate, after that this guy, in every car, it's a natural thing for us to ask, hey, what speed am I going at? Not only while accelerating, but in general I'm doing something else and I need to be able to see my current speed. But unfortunately I can't see my current speed. Just because my variable is private, because there is no way. In that case, you can expose the method. You can expose the method because you have to make your variables private. Because once you make it non-private, there is a problem of changing it. But we need to be able to give him, without changing it, we need to be able to give some accessor methods, right? Meaning he needs to be able to access it. Hey, what is my current speed? Well, yeah, go ahead. I agree with your argument. And now go ahead and expose a method. Let's say get current speed. Okay. All you do is return this dot current speed. Current speed. And we just learned this. Why not use it? This meaning this instance variable's current speed. Whatever the current speed is stored in the instance variable, please return that. And now with the methods, the beauty is that he's using this method to change it, meaning he's properly accelerating because we are putting all the checks and balances. We are putting all the if conditions, if else, everything. But if he needs to be able to see or know what the current speed is, now he can call this method. And we are making this method as public. Anybody can get it, right? There is no harm in this one. So we are saying, yeah, now this guy all of a sudden wants to see the current speed. Okay? And now this guy is storing somewhere. I'm now at the speed. I'm now at the speed. See, I'm now at 140 speed. So what are we doing here? Well, what we are doing is we are making these variables private. Since we have this problem with the variables, once you take out this private, we think that people will only use them to read it. But no, they're bad people. So they can change it too. So that is why the standard rule of thumb is that declare all the variables as private. The standard rule of thumb. Without thinking anything, declare all of your fields, declare your instance variables as private. In all of your classes, simple, you don't have to think now. The standard rule of thumb is declare all of your fields all fields should be private. Because these are variables, right? As we have clearly seen, our intention is to just to give them read, but there is no way you can do it. Once you give it for reading, he can also modify it. But we don't want to give that flexibility. Right? So what we do as a rule of thumb, declare all the variables, all the instance variables from here onwards until end of the course and beyond in your whole career. Okay? You declare all the fields as private. I agree. You may want to give access to read them, right? When you want to give access to read them, provide these accessor methods like a get current speed and then get maximum speed. Somebody may want to look, find out what is the maximum speed. Get maximum speed and then get current gear. Okay, all of these. A convention called get your uppercase, get your field name, actually uppercase. The first letter should be uppercase and then your field name. So these are called accessor methods, or in other words, getter methods. Okay, these are read-only methods, but in some cases maybe you want to give access to change them. Let's say there is a color, right? Hey, color of the car should be able to be changed. Agree, VIN, make, model should never be changed after the car is created, but color of the car should be able to be changed. I agree with you guys. So for those methods, you can do something like the proper behavior. You can say set color or change color. You can say change color, sorry. You can say change color or set current speed maybe. Set current speed is a bad idea. Rather you have to use accelerate and anything. What else can you change in the car? Change tires probably? Yeah, go ahead. Change tires. So all of these methods you can write it. So if you have all the setter methods, if you expose the setter methods, right? I know this is very, very, very bad idea. Set when, set make. If you really do this set make, set model, set when, okay, through methods you are making them change it, then this is not encapsulation. This is a bad coding. But still I see a lot of people do it. What you're doing is you're making your variables private, but you are providing them to be changed through setter methods. These setter methods called mutator methods or setter methods. Mutator or setter methods. In any programming language or any object-oriented world, these are called mutator methods, meaning you are changing the state, meaning you are changing the field, meaning you are changing the instance variable. Since you are changing it, you are mutating, meaning changing it. They're called mutator methods. But is a caution with red is that you should exercise extreme caution when you use any method that can change something. You generally want to have a very nice behavior. Don't just do a set make, set when, set model. It's extremely bad idea. So we need to understand the real rationale behind object-oriented principle, that encapsulation. Don't do that, declare your fields as private but expose all of them through setter methods. That's a bad idea. Okay. But in general, in Java world, I'm saying that these are called, getter methods, and these are called setter methods, or accessor and mutator methods. Okay? So a lot of people, I'll just mention it since I mentioned it here. I'll just show you a lot of people, even with the people having a decent, let's say laptop, decent experience, people do it actually. Private string make, private string model. When I ask them to design an object, right, they'll design typically like this: private make model, and then int display size. Okay. Private int RAM. Let's say these 4 fields, right? In Eclipse, encapsulation says that as a standard rule of thumb, we'll only do private, 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 private. All the variables they declared nicely private. Okay? Super. So they think that they followed object-oriented principles. This is one of the object-oriented principles called encapsulation or data hiding. So they are thinking that it's nicely hidden. These are all private. Nobody can access it. And then the very next step is notorious. Right-click, source, generate getters and setters. See here? You select all of them. So you don't have to write the code. Get make, just return make. Set make, it will do this dot make equal to. You don't have to do this one. Get model, set model. Get display size, set display size. Get RAM, set RAM. It follows the convention and then it will write the code. And they think this is a real object. This is not object and this is not really object oriented. This is a bad code. These getters are harmless. I agree with this. Get make, good, because nobody is changing the state really, right? But get model is a read-only method. This is good. I'm good with this one. I'm good with this one. But the setter methods are evil. Set make. Can you ever change the make of a laptop after this is constructed? I'll do a laptop L equal to new laptop, or laptop, HP laptop equal to new laptop, and then I'll change the make of it by calling the set make. Bad idea. But you will see this kind of code once you enter any organization. I don't want you to do like that. I want you to think proper behavior of the object. Okay? I'm just showing you how typically done. In some cases, later I'll talk about it, there's something called data bags. In the case of data bags or data transfer objects, it's okay. If you didn't understand what I just said, erase it from your head, no problem. We'll talk about it later, months down the line. So anyways, the point is, just because Eclipse makes your life, don't do it. Okay, think about it properly. What are the proper behavior? So anyways, so we exposed a nice method to expose the get current speed and also maximum speed. This point is applicable for maximum speed also. Agree you don't want users to change the maximum speed. Do you want to really punish them by not even letting them see the maximum speed? I think that's a bad idea. Right? At least we should let them see the maximum speed. We should let them see it. I agree we should not let them change it with the set maximum speed, but at least we should do a get maximum speed. Also, they can, after the construction, this is during the construction, right? After the construction, they also will be able to, they should be able to see the win, they should be able to see the make, they should be able to know the model, they should be able to know the current gear, they should be able to know the current speed, they should be able to know the maximum speed. Are you in agreement with me? They should be able to read at least, right? Changing is important. Changing, we have to control it. We have to very tightly control it. But reading is harmless. Anybody can read it. So you can use your technique that you just learned. Right click, source, generate getters and setters, and current gear, current speed, make, maximum speed, model, when. I'll say select the getters, and it generates only the getters, not setters. Sweet. So if he wants to find out what is the VIN number is, he can get it. I am now driving at current speed, whatever that speed is. Okay, you don't need to store it in a local variable also. You can directly inline this guy. You can directly put it here. You can save a line of code. Sweet. Make sense? Understood? So from here onwards, we will declare all the variables as private, and then we will think, hey, which one can be changed and after an object is created? Provide the appropriate behavior for them. Which one can users read them? I mean, read is always harmless. You can give everything. Maybe in some cases, probably not, but reading is okay. Reading is harmless. And the next one you have to think about it is, which fields can be modified after the object is created, like VIN, make, model. They can be changed after the object is created. Then how do we take the initial values? How do we take the initial values? I agree they can't be changed after the object is created, but how can we take the initial values? Any of you? I agree they can't be changed, but we should at least give them some values, right? Otherwise there is no point in it. How? Constructors. That's the right answer. So use the constructors. Good job, Uma. So you need the constructors. Constructors help you take the initial values and put them into the instance variables. So this is how you're taking the initial VIN, initial make, initial model at the time of the construction. This is at the time of the construction. Good. At the time of the construction, you are taking VIN, make, model and putting here. And now after this, you are removing your setter methods. If it doesn't make sense. Because you don't want VIN to be modified after a car is constructed. You don't want your make to be modified after it is constructed. You don't want your model to be changed after it is constructed. Did you all get the point that I'm making here? Are you really getting it? These are the core concepts. One of the most important pieces. One of the most important pieces. You need to get it. I can explain any number of times, but you need to get it. Now, shall I ask you a question? Anybody?
Sure.
My question is, let's say I have a laptop, okay, laptop. I have private, obviously I just learned the encapsulation concept, so I'll make them private. Make, model, and serial number, okay, and display size. Okay, that's it. I have a laptop, let's say only with these 4 fields. Make, model, serial number and display size. These are the only fields that I have. And one of you help me, or just feel free, casual conversation. Does it make sense to change make after an object is created?
No.
Good. How about model?
No. And serial number also unique.
Good. Display size?
Maybe it can vary with the model. Or
You think laptops can change the display size? Because those are tightly integrated, right? I think no.
yes. Yeah.
Right? So all four are no. Good. All four are no. But can I give read access? You know, any point anybody wants to know what the serial number is or what the make is, what the model is. Can we give that? Can we give that information?
Yes, you can.
So how do I design? How do you want me to design this one?
Now first you create the constructor and then getters.
Okay.
Yes.
Very good. So I can use this source, use generate constructor using fields, and then click OK. Now my constructors are gone. Constructor is here. So what does constructor help me with?
So to initialize the instance variables of that class.
So to give the initial values at the time of the creation of the laptop, right? When I create the laptop, what should be the make, what should be the model, what should be the serial number, what should be the display size? Hey, what laptop are you creating? Well, I'm creating a HP C301 with serial number 12345, display size is 15 inch, right? But now, with this one object is created now, meaning anybody can do a laptop L equal to new laptop off with the appropriate make, model, serial number, and display size. Now we should not let these values be changed. So what do I do now? Good. So what do I do now?
Only getter method.
Only getter methods. Fantastic. So select getters. Do I have any mutators here? Do I have any way of changing this object state? What do you mean by state? These four fields are states, right?
Yes.
Can I change this state at all?
No.
Am I giving any access to anybody to change the state at all? No, right? Only I'm giving access to read them but not to change them, right? Are you all with me? Right? And this is called immutable object in our this is called immutable object. This is called immutable. Immutable object. It's a very, 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 very important interview question. This is an immutable object, meaning you cannot change the state of the object after the object is created. You can do this, laptop, L1 equal to new laptop. Here you can call the constructor and provide your make, provide your model, provide your serial number, provide your display size here. That's it. After that you can only get it, but you can't change the state. You can't change any of the state information after the object is created, meaning no mutating, no mutating. This mutating is no immutable object. And how do you design the immutable object is the important interview question. How do you design it? Well, I see that you got the concept of immutable object, but how do I design it? How do I create an immutable object? Well, you need to provide the constructor with all the fields that an object has. So you need a constructor so that you can provide the initial values. And now remove all the setters and expose only getters. Only getters. And that's it. The object is immutable. Very, very popular interview question, and later on Setters are, exactly, setters are mutators. So there are no setters here, only constructors and getters. And this is how you design an immutable class. And there is a lot of good things about the immutable class. We can talk about it later. Those are deep object design concepts. But this is a good, immutable object. Think 10 times before providing mutators or any method that changes it. Any method that changes the state, think twice before doing it. Getters, these are harmless because you are just returning them. No problem with that. So that's about the encapsulation. It's one of the object-oriented features. So there's one more called, there are a couple more called inheritance, polymorphism, etc. So did you all get this one today? Now, can we go back and do this exercise? Now help me here. Help me here. How do I phrase my homework here? Now, from the beginning, take a look at, open every single class. Every single class that we created so far. And declare all the fields. Fields are nothing but instance variables, right? Declare all the fields as private. Now, once you declare them as private, your main class will fail, right? So you need to expose them. So now you need to expose the proper behavior. No more proper behavior by designing the good methods, not like getters and setters. You can definitely do setters, and then in your main class, rather than saying c dot make equal to Honda, now you can say c dot set make. No, but you need to think about, by designing the good constructors and methods. Yes. If there is a state that can't be changed after an object is created, then put them in the constructors, right? And then remove the setters. But maybe in some cases, it's okay to provide the setters. Are you guys with me? So now relook at whatever you did so far. And now review everything, your fields, your methods, your constructors. Now you design the proper objects with the appropriate, do it with the appropriate access modifiers. Meaning, if you think it is too dangerous for other classes outside of that package to call that particular method, then use only default access modifier. But I'm okay between default and public for now. But especially these two will have to concentrate, and then we need to perfect our concepts, whatever we learned. Make sense? I think it's too much to talk about inheritance at this point. I think we had enough, right? And then, then I typically ask this question, in the previous batches too. it's a very good design technique to create the objects as immutable whenever possible. Whenever possible. So, did I say immutable? Yeah. See, look at this one here. Create, oh, now I think we did this one. We created various packages and then we created various objects now with at least 5 pieces of state information. Create 5 objects with all of their fields as private, but provide public getters and setters. Use Eclipse shortcut. Yeah. Use this one to familiarize yourself with the Eclipse, using the constructor, creating the constructor using fields and creating the getters and setters. But as I told you, the setters are bad. Okay. This is one way to do it. So here you are creating a mutable object. So go ahead and do it this one also. So go ahead and create the mutable object and now make the same objects immutable by removing setter methods and providing constructors. See this one? So if you do both of them, that will be fantastic. So you are familiarizing yourself with getters and setters concept, but you're also understanding that setters are bad, and now you're also making them immutable by removing setters, and you're providing the constructors. So you are solidifying your constructors concept also. Is that fair? Are we clear on what needs to be done? We're revisiting our classes, that's all. Is that fair? Everybody? Everybody got it, right? What needs to be done? Good. That's all for today. Yeah.
Venkat, I have questions.
Yes. Let's talk about it.
Can you make me the presenter or should I be requesting you?
No, I'll do it. Jyoti, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
I'll make you the presenter.
is Ajay is also on the call?
Ajay, you were there? No, he's not here today.
Okay, so both of us for the last homework, we were getting some issues with the multiplication sign
Sure.
part.
Okay.
That one. First, I'll just go one by one. This is the one just I developed it while we were doing this. So I have created one variable. If you see private boolean started, I have used it in the start method.
Okay. Fantastic.
And I do not know, and also I have implemented this accelerate, I just implemented it in a different way.
Very good. Okay.
116, and instead of declaring another desired speed, or I just...
I made it intentionally complicate certain things. The only reason is that with that, I can explain the concept of the local variables, right? So I can get the point across that, oh, within a method also I can declare a variable. So that's my point. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, no problem. So I'm actually using that, I'm changing that Boolean variable to true here.
Very good. Okay.
Okay. So why is it complaining here?
Because you're not reading it anywhere. You're only setting it. After setting, you are never reading it. That's all. Go mouse over that. It is saying that
not used.
Exactly. You have not used it. You have set it, but you have never.
But I cannot include it as part of my constructor because where I
agree. No. What it is saying is you are setting it, Jyoti. This dot started equal to true, right?
Yeah.
Now let's say come down.
No. Or maybe I can just give it in the...
No. I'll tell you how to use it. This is not only for you, everybody. This dot started equal to true, right? So now let's say what happens if I create a crazy guy like me, car 2 C equal to new car, okay, new car 2. C dot accelerate directly without starting it. Do you want to accelerate it? No, right? So do it. If in accelerate method, if started, then you want to do all of this. If not started, then you want to give 0 back. You're getting it? Are you getting it? Everybody? So what I'm saying here is that if the car is not started, if somebody tries to accelerate it, okay, my car is stopped right now, okay, I'm pushing the gas pedal, okay, does anything happen? No matter what I do, even if I sit on that gas pedal, nothing happens, right? Are you with me? You are in agreement, Jyoti?
Yes.
So if it is not started, do it the reverse. I mean, you can do it either way. I don't want to be like, if it's not started, return 0. Meaning, if it is in stopped mode, if it is already stopped, no matter how much you accelerate, nothing will stop. Yeah. What do you think? Right? I think that's very nice. Now you go back and look at that. It's gone now because you have used it.
Okay. So I was thinking like because since I am changing it, this dot started as true in the method start. So you shouldn't be complaining about that. But okay, I got it.
Setting it, but what it is saying is it has never. Hey, when you are not using it, why are you setting it? Eclipse is proactively helping you make the cleaner code, Jyoti. What it is saying is, you are setting it, I get it. If you never use it, what's the point in setting? Are you with me?
Yeah.
So Venkat, we have to use all the variables we declare, huh? At least class variables.
Why do you want to declare a variable if at all you are not using it? Tell me.
That is true, right?
That's all. That's all. You can... See, Java doesn't stop you, Venkat. Who is that asking? Venkat Krishna?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, yeah. So Java doesn't stop you from you can definitely declare it and definitely not use it. No problem with Java. But does it make any sense? That is why Eclipse is giving a warning saying that, hey, looks like you wanted to use it somewhere, but you did not use it. You declared a field and you are setting the value, but you are not using it, then there's no point. Either you delete the variable or use it like this.
That's what I wanted to know. It's a warning or an error? It was
it's
a warning.
A warning. That's all. Okay. That LO thing is a warning. In Eclipse, LO1 is a warning.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And she put it nicely here. I want all of you to use that here. See, when you accelerate it, we are checking in my example, I'm not checking whether it is already started or not. So there is a defect in my code, right? Just now the one ensured, even if it is not started, I'm making you go. It doesn't make sense, right? So you have to call start method first and then call the accelerate and then I'll do it properly.
Okay, I got the first one. Thanks, Venkat. Can I go to my next question? Okay, this is the homework.
Okay.
I do not know if there is any problem with my STH while I installed it. So it works whenever I give addition or subtraction, but for like multiplication.
Yeah. Yep. It takes a multiplication. It's so what you need to do is, because there is that star is being understood, nothing to do with your Eclipse, nothing to do with your Eclipse or anybody's, okay?
Okay.
Go to your arguments. No. Your Eclipse run configuration argument.
Yes.
Yeah. So that star has a special meaning that...
No, I need to think to this one.
Oh, okay. So star has a special meaning at the kicking off your JVM time. Okay, star means everything. So that is why it's what do you call it? Wild character. It's taking as wild character. So when you design your calculator, what you need to do is you need to take your class, your X mark, but within your code you can, if it is X, then use your star.
So what you are saying is in the arguments I have to use X.
Use some other character.
Oh, some other character.
Some other character for multiplication is what I'm saying, because star has a special meaning. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is when you kick off your JVM, your star is a...
So should this work?
Yep. This works. Now, but you have to change your code, right? Plus, minus, and then if operand 3.
No, even in my calculator one here, everywhere I have to change?
No. I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's not my point. 1 second. Can you go to calculator 1? So your A star B is perfect. All I'm saying is when you're inputting, when you're providing the arguments to your program, only at that time the star has a special meaning. That's all.
Okay. So
take out that star wherever you are right now and then put X there, small x probably. Yep. And now everything, nothing needs to be changed. You're good. Save your class.
I think it executed something else. 1 minute.
Yeah, calculator 1, client 2 executed it, so you need to do.
Yeah, I want the calculator. So when it is giving me, so if I want it to show me the calculator 1 client, what should I do?
Actually, you are already here, right? Why right click? Just.
Yeah, that's what I did, right click.
Oh, okay. It is asking because you have a run configuration for that one, right? Okay. So what you do is cancel. Go ahead. Because earlier you created, can you give me the control? It's the same. Yeah, run configuration. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, calculator 1. No, which one? Which class are you in? No. So you need to.
No.
No, that's not that. That is not correct. What the class you are running is not correct, Jyoti. Calculator 1, client 2.
If you see here, calculator 1 client, this is the one.
Oh,
So
your
here,
name. Okay, you
I am correct.
I got it.
This is where I have to update it.
I got it. You gave your name as different. I got
Correct.
it. Yep. Which configuration you want to do it? So the first one, right?
I gave it in calculator 1 client. I did not give it in client 2.
No. Go cancel it. Go to run configuration. Okay, let's hold that. No. Wait. Let me speak for one quick second here. So the main class is good, Jyoti. Calculator 1 client is excellent, right? Look at the name there, configuration name on the top. One above, little bit more, top. No. This side, main class. You pointed to me main class, right? After the one above is a project, right?
Yes.
Little bit above on that. See that name?
Okay.
That is the configuration name. So you gave the configuration name as calculator 1 client 2. So calculator1 client to configuration is pointing to your main class calculator1 client.
Okay.
Got it?
Yeah. Should I just change it to just?
No. I'm just saying that's an information. That's all.
Okay.
Since you said this is different, I'm saying that what was shown there is the configuration name, not your class name, is all I'm saying. That's all.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah. Unidentified.
Unidentified operator. Huh? Whoa, can I see you?
1 minute.
Yeah. No problem.
Actually, I have given it, I think.
Sure. Can I see that arguments again? 3 star 5. I mean 3. Okay. Yeah. Can I?
You want the control? Maybe I think you need to request the control.
Okay. How can I? Yep. I requested. Sweet. Okay.
So maybe 3x and 5 are not the same type. Array will have only the same type of element.
Operand 3 is 2. Oh. This is 1 is your x, so 3 x 5. So this is 5. So you're checking with 5, right? Oh, you're checking with operand 2. Oh, this is operand 3. This is not correct, right?
Yeah.
Jyoti, you're seeing it?
Oh, yeah. I think it got.
Yeah, that's all. Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you have one more?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no. Yes. Sorry.
No problem. No
I
problem.
have one.
Take your time. No problem.
So here it's let me collapse them. So I have the package here.
Okay.
Okay, underneath this package, I want to create another package.
Okay.
Okay, so when I try to do that, it is creating at the same level.
Okay.
So here I'll say classwork.
Exactly. Yep. That's it.
Yeah, but it is, I need a package underneath this package.
That's exactly underneath that package, Jyoti. Look at it.
Okay.
They both have the same sub package, right? Com, training, Java, core Java. It's just two different representations of it. That's all. You look at you under the hood folder structure. If you look at it, that's exactly what it is. It is a sub package.
Oh, it's a sub package.
Absolutely.
Okay. So let me see if I add a new class to it.
Oh yeah. See that?
So this is one package.
Exactly. This is another package. Yep. But this is
another package at the same level.
Same level meaning, I want you to understand this one. Com, training, Java, core Java. Where is that location? Properties, right click properties. Here, right? Okay. So let's go there. See here?
See.
Yeah, look at it. So here in core Java you have car new.java, right? Underneath that you have a classwork. There you have a second class .java.
Yes.
Got it?
Yep.
Yeah. That's your desire. I believe that's what you wanted to do it, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody?
Yeah, I'm done with my questions.
Wonderful.
Venkat, I have a question.
Absolutely.
Venkat, I have one small.
Sure.
Venkat, can you go to your Eclipse? I want to see if you can increase the font size. Go to window.
It's not visible? Actually, let's, 1 second.
No. Just try this. Maybe I want to increase the font size. Go to window.
Okay.
And then, preferences. And then type font here. Colors and font.
Yep. Absolutely.
And then, it should show here actually. It should show under.
So, but what's the goal though? I didn't understand. So,
I'm just trying to increase the font size.
So you want me to increase the font size?
Yeah, of the Eclipse actually.
Okay.
Oh, right there. Yeah, it is in the Java editor. That one.
This is not good enough?
Well, slightly bigger size would be, because sometimes I want to see in the phone also, your previous
Oh.
video. Go to 14, 16, awesome. Yeah. Now it's a bit size.
It's better?
See if it helps in your presentation.
I get it. Well, what do you guys think? I mean, if you all agree, see, this is for you guys. So, whatever you think.
I'm liking it, very friendly it is.
Can we give it a try one day? Uma is wondering that we cannot see the entire code, I think, but I think it's good. I mean, to me, it's good. I'll leave it to you guys.
See if it affects you draw in on another screen you draw, right? See if it's affecting that. Oh, no
this one does not affect. No, definitely no. That's only for Eclipse. No.
Then we are good. Okay.
I mean, I'm okay for scrolling. If you guys look at it better, you tell me, I'll do it. Okay, we're done with the resolution. So now, tell me, Rohit, what's your question?
Today morning we were speaking about this keyword.
Yes.
I would like to know how does it improve the performance of while you code your program, and how is it helpful in using this keyword?
It does not help you any performance. It does not help you anything, but you are actually referencing to your own instance variable. That's all. So when I say this, I'm talking about the instance variable, my instance variable. So I can have a win variable as my argument name, as my instance variable, as my static variable, as there may be 3-4 wins. Just I'm being explicit. I'm saying that, hey, this is I'm talking about instance variable win, not anything else. It has nothing more, nothing less to it. Let me repeat that one more time. Right.
Yeah.
It has nothing more, nothing less to it. No performance. It has nothing more than that. You get it? It is a utility just to make your life. That's all.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So in a terms, you mean to say that you are like making your variable more efficient to improve the readability in terms?
See that you said efficient. Wait. Wait.
Okay.
You said efficient. Nothing to do with efficiency. Now you said readability. That's a big thumbs up, yes. So with this one, for someone like dumb guy like me, it's like this dot when you're being more explicit saying that, oh, this guy talking about instance variable. Hey, look at it. How your Eclipse helps, buddy. I'm just, what do we call it? Mouse over it, not mouse over it. I highlighted this one, right? It is highlighting this one and this one, meaning Eclipse figured out that this win, you're talking about this win. But now I click here. Eclipse figured out that this meaning you are talking about this. Look at it. Look at it how it's highlighting it. Look at it how it is highlighting it. Look at it how it is highlighting it. When you say make, you're talking about this one, boy. But when you say make, this we're talking about this one. So if you don't have this, in this particular case, okay, if we don't have this, now what is my option, buddy? So let's say I'll remove this. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll remove this one. You know what Java thinks, Java compiler thinks, and even later JVM, you know what it thinks? These 3 lines of code, shall I tell you? You are taking your when, you are actually changing the constructor parameter when, you are changing the constructor parameter make, you are changing the constructor parameters model. Understand this one?
Can you repeat that, please?
Yes. So, caller, car demo guy, he is the caller, right? When he called it, he gave you these 3 strings, right? I mean, obviously these are also objects, and then object reference will be passed here. Later I'll talk about in Java, objects are passed by value. I'll talk about it later, but for now. So you passed me these objects, right? Now, what this means is I'm dereferencing it, meaning whatever the object that you passed it, I'm changing it. And in fact, in Java, you can't do it because, meaning your caller will have no effect on it because these objects are actually passed the copy of the object reference. It's a little more tricky concept. Okay, that is why I can't use any of the keywords here because we are not there yet. That is why we safely do all the, in any constructor or any method. You know why? You might have seen your code in your companies that every single one of them is final, final, final. The reason we say it final is because, just to be explicit, because your JVM, even though you are dereferencing it, your caller has no effect. For people, I'm recording it, for people who are not getting it, I'm sure 99% of the people don't get it. Please don't worry about it. I'm just answering your point, Rohit, just to make you happy, but we are nowhere near that. Okay.
Yeah, I know that.
So
I know that fact.
These are object references. We got it, right? So what you're doing is you are dereferencing it now. You are changing. You are making this guy point to this guy now. But by doing it, does client have any effect on it? No. The reason is what happens here is that there is an object inside the heap. Inside your heap, come on, give me a break. Inside your heap, oh, once I change my resolution, so things have changed now, boy, because when it starts, let me reopen it. I actually disconnected this guy. I can't try anymore, huh? Yeah, looks like I can. Okay, in your heap, there is an object created, and this is your handle, right? Object reference, right? So, you know what is an object reference? This is nothing but a memory address of where this guy is stored here, right? So when I say car C equal to new car, the actual object is here, but the C is here. C is pointing to this guy, right?
Right.
Okay, now if I when I give this C to a method, let's say I'm calling a method here. Let's say there is a method on someone M1 and I'm passing C here, right? You know what JVM does behind the scenes? C will not be as is passed to the caller. Because if C is as is passed, okay, what if so I'm giving the remote, right? If I give the actual remote, right? What if I change that remote to work with some other object? Maybe you're not getting it. No. So if I give this C as is to the caller, now what I can do in my M1 method, I'll do something like this, right? Car C, right? So now I can do it. I'll create a brand new car C2 equal to new car. So I created a brand new car. Now I'm making the C point to a different object now. So now C is pointing to a different object now. I can do that, right?
Right.
When caller is calling a method, caller's original object itself is pointing to a different object. That's a crazy thing. You can do a lot of malicious things if Java allows you to do that. But Java does not allow you to do that, luckily. You can't do it. So what Java does is, Java will never give you the real handle. Java will make a copy of C, okay? And then this is also pointing to the same object, but it will give you the copy now.
So this copy is the internal thing, done by the JVM itself internally?
Oh, yeah, JVM does that. JVM behind the scenes does that copy of the object reference, meaning it is passing the value of the object reference. Okay? So that is why even though you make this copy, exclusive copy will be made when it calls any method. Okay? Whenever your object is passed, it is making an exclusive copy of that remote, okay, and giving it to you, right? Now the remote is pointing also to the same object, but you are a notorious guy, and what you did is you did like this. Now you are making the C. Now you broke this link and you make this C point to this new object, right?
Okay.
After this one, now the original guy is back. The original guy is always having the original remote. So what you did is a copy which the original guy has no problem at all. So in other way, what I'm saying here is that by doing this one, you have no effect. So by doing this one, you have no effect. Win equal to win. So you're making a win point to a different object. You have no effect. That is why we blindly say that, you know what, since Java doesn't allow you to change any of those references anyway, why don't you declare blindly final that your compiler at least will help you. This is the reason why we make final. So there is no point in doing this one. And your Java compiler and JVM, it allows. So it's thinking that, sorry boss, the assignment to variable win has no effect, meaning you are trying to do something stupid and you don't want to do it. It's warning you, that's all. Maybe your intention is something else. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So now you have an option. We started somewhere, I know. But you wanted to keep the same variable names, right? But now you have an option.
Yeah.
What you can do rather is you can create another variables like that. Make of the car. Ooh. My battery of the keyboard is gone, I think. Ouch. Anyways, make of the car, model of the car. Now you can use different variables, right? Now you can say win equal to win number, make equal to make of the car, model equal to model of the car. So you are changing your parameter names just because you can't use the same variable names as this one. How silly is that? and all the tools like Eclipse, right? Okay, so they have to use something else, some other variable names here, right? So what you are telling me, Java, is that there is no way I can't use these same variable names in my constructors and still get away with it? Then Java bounced back and said that, boss, yes, you can. All the instance variables, you can definitely use the same variables here. Okay? When you give just to specify the variable names, it takes the closest one, buddy. The closest one here is your block of code. So your win is treated as your this variable, but not this one, because it always takes closest blocks. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So that is why rather what you need to do is you be extra specific and say that, okay, I'm taking my when. When you say when, you're talking about this one, right? But here I'm saying, can you now initialize or put this value in this dot when? Can you take this make and put it in my instance variable make? Did you get that? You're a little skeptical, right? You're still...
Right. I mean, the point is here, when I'm using this dot of anymore, why should I go again use a final there? Then maybe I can remove the final keyword.
Now you can. Now you can. Absolutely. Okay, maybe I confused a little more. I actually, you can remove it. Okay, there is no problem here. You can definitely remove it, but always use final here for the different reason that I gave you, right? Because if at all, if I don't use final, okay, for someone like silly guy like me says that my intention is I want to do something malicious, something I want to be naughty, okay? I'll just say that win equal to something like this. I want to change the original reference. That guy passed it, right? That guy passed an object here, right? I'm changing this guys.
Oh, the meaning of this got changed completely now.
Exactly. Or now win equal to yeah. Okay. Or I want to reference this guy to something else. You can never, ever do this one. This one, even though you do it 1,000 times, Java has no impact. Because, as I said here, what Java is passing you is not the real remote. It is passing you a copy of the remote. That is why all the objects that are passed by value, Java passed by value. There is an excellent article. Actually, I mentioned it. I took very long time in one of the previous batches, and I explained this with an example. I'm not sure whether it's. Take a look at this one. Read this article, and
okay.
Because we all get confused with the objects. See here, this guy in Google also, everyone can easily agree that primitives are passed by values. There is no such thing in Java as a pointer or reference to a primitive. However, objects are not passed by reference. A correct statement would be object references are passed by value. When I say references, I'm saying the
copy of the
what do you call remote? This is remote.
okay.
These remotes are passed by value, meaning a separate copy of the remote is made by JVM and pass it to any method. That is why trying to dereference to something else is the silliest thing, and you can't do anything. You can't do anything intentionally or maliciously. You can't do any of it. That is why safely declare always your final. Now you may be asking, okay, you declared as final, so why do we declare as a final? Because your compiler will slap you and tell you that, sorry dude, this is a final, you can't change it. Are you getting it?
Exactly.
Earlier, it wasn't slapping you. It was nicely giving you a warning only. But now it will slap you because this is a real error. So blindly, you can declare all of your method arguments or constructor arguments as final because the Java object references are passed by value. A copy of the remote control will be passed. I actually explained it. I spent a decent time actually explaining this concept with a nice example, because a lot of people get confused here with this one. And
this is a basic part, like sometimes in interview this specifically conflict from this object by value and the reference is really a important thing which I know.
Absolutely. People with, I'm not saying anything, but you talk to people with good 8 years of experience and explain what do you mean by, okay, you said pass by value, but I'm able to pass these objects, but I'm able to change the state of the object. They say that I'm able to change the object. Ask this question. Go back to your company and ask this question. Okay, when the objects are passed by value, but I'm changing the state of the object, right? I can do a win dot something, right? You know what I'm saying? If you give me a customer here, I'll say, let's say customer. This is, let's say customer. So I'm changing their first name here. I'm able to change it. Then you're saying a value. What do you mean it's changing it? Well, they're two different things. With your remote, you can definitely operate the same object, but trying to change the remote itself is the silly thing. Did you get the point? Yeah. I know you asked something. I said something. It's
a little bit.
it's
the article. If I go,
don't worry, man. It's deep. I'll probably one of the days I'll explain. But for this, sure. The concepts. Okay. Now, I think I confused everyone heck out of it. Now, I'll come back to this point. I want to say that this has nothing more meaning than that. If you don't walk away with that point, I'll be disappointed. When you say this, I'm talking about you are making it more readable. You are saying that it's a instance variable. Yes, that's all. Agree? That part you got it, right, Rohit?
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm fine.
Okay. So that part, no issue. The remaining, you don't have to get it. You don't have to get it. Probably will. I'm sure will. I will either explain it or I will find that video and share with you. Sure. In my, here or here, current batch or previous batch. I'll find that exclusive. I talked, very in depth.
Okay, that will be cool.
Okay.
Venkat, one more question. So suppose I have declared a variable in my main method, okay, and there also can I just say this dot, suppose I have a string customer name in my main method, and there also can I just use this dot first name?
See here, your car demo, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now tell me, I created an object here. So what you're saying is C dot. Can I use this here?
No, what I'm saying is here I have declared another variable.
Okay,
in the car demo.
Yep, number of cars here.
Okay, yeah. So
absolutely. Absolutely.
That number of cars.
But here you can't. I mean, here you can't for a different reason. I can't explain why. The reason is this is a static. This is a static. So static is common across all the instances. First of all, static method cannot access non-static variables. And in static methods, there is no concept of this. The reason being that is, again, if you don't get it, forget it. So, meaning we'll talk about it. We'll spend good hours on that. So no worries. These are all the objects, right? And this is different. When you say this, every single object has access. Sorry, I'm crazy. Why did I say this? Static. When I say static here, right? This is a static static variable. This static variable will be accessed by every single instance. All of these guys have access to it. You can change it. You can do anything. Then you are in a static method, meaning static methods do not belong to any instance. When you do not belong to any instance, calling this is a bad idea. Agree? Okay. Because there is no concept of instance there. You're talking about global there. Something that is shared across all the instances. Agree with that? And that is why in static methods, you cannot have access to non-static variables, because non-static variables are instance variable. Those are specific to instance. But maybe I'm confusing again because we didn't talk about static. So please don't ask those good questions. Wait.
Okay. Like that?
Yeah. But those are very good questions. Yeah.
How to see the various list of objects?
How do you see the?
Various list of objects like a car or methods.
Okay, I didn't understand.
I think sometimes
in Eclipse, you're doing, how do I do that?
No, how to see the various list of the objects means sometimes actually car demo we used in a main class, and sometimes we used in this method, for example, stop method we used in another class.
Okay.
At that time, I just want to see this method where I used it.
Oh, where and all I have used this method. Very good question. Very
yes,
good.
yes.
Very good. Very good question. Very good question. Wait, let me fix this one and tell you.
Yeah, okay.
What am I doing? I'll remove this one and I'll recreate this one. So she wants to find out, so let's say the start method, right? In my entire project or in my entire workspace, okay, who are all using it? Who are all using right click, references? Do you want to do it in workspace or project? Let's say project. See this one? In car demo, you're using in this line of code. See, it is highlighting this one. And let's say accelerate method. Who are all using my accelerate method? References, this project. See this one? And it highlights all the references here nicely.
Yes, I am asking that. Thank you, Venkat.
No problem. No problem at all. Okay, we're done? One second, guys. I'll just fix this guy and...
Venkat?
Yes?
Can we, because initially before Rohit asked you a question, I thought like this particular, this is, it's like to use Eclipse more efficiently to use a constructors. That's why they want to make a difference between the one which used in a local variable and the one which used in the other one, like other instance variable. Is that the way? Is that the thing they have introduced this or?
No. Eclipse has got nothing to do with this. I'm sorry. Eclipse has got nothing to do with this. But what I'm saying is that because Eclipse is just a tool, right? Okay. You can write your program in a notepad like this. Okay. So everywhere when if you happen to use the variable name same in as your method arguments or your constructor arguments and also the instance variables, and if you want to reference to your instance variables in that case, use this. So you have a method here, okay, something like this, okay. Okay, string make, right? So here, but there is an instance variable also here. Make sense? There is an instance variable also make here. So both of them are make. Now when I do make dot something, obviously tell me which make I'm using here. Venkatakrishna? When I say
The one in the method.
the one in the method, why?
It's a local variable.
It's actually a method argument, but this is the closest to me, right?
Yeah.
This is the closest to me, right? Venkat Krishna, are you getting it?
This is Ravi here actually, yeah.
Oh, Ravi. I'm sorry, Ravi. So you getting it, Ravi?
Yes,
So-
yes, I got that.
So when I say make dot something, right? I'm talking about this one. But I want to reference this guy, meaning instant. Can you turn off your speaker, buddy, Ravi? Yeah, I hear my echo. So here, when I reference make, I'm talking about this guy here. But this is not my intention. I want to talk about this one, meaning my instance variable. In that case, rather than just saying make, I'll just say this dot make now. Now I'm saying here, oh, you're not talking about this guy. You're talking about the instance variable make. Yes. Are we getting it? Ravi, did you get that?
Yes, yes, I got that.
Hey, Rohit, did you get
Before I
that
thought
now?
in that way, but
Right, okay.
Yeah.
No confusion, right?
No, but maybe I might be encountering myself. I'll let you know, but I'll just work on it somehow.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. Basically, let me work on that. So I'll let
Absolutely.
you
Absolutely.
if it clears my doubt or not still. And meanwhile, can you just let me know the video also? So, but basically, I can just go through that also once.
Yeah, but are you getting the point that this
Yes,
has got
I got the
nothing?
point.
No. My worry is that I know
Yeah.
I talked about the object reference values and everything. I went somewhere, right? But
Right.
that has got nothing to do with this also. Did you understand that?
Yeah, but I have a point. Yeah, I am clear about that point. Well,
Okay,
I'm
good.
for sure clear with that.
As long as you are clear about that, I'm good. Okay, that
I'm
one.
clear.
Let me look at that. Okay. Meanwhile, there should be a Java World article too. Actually speaking, used to be, oh, this guy here. So read this. Even this one. Watch this guy.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
And probably my video, I'll look at it and I explain very detailed.
Okay. Cool. Thanks.
That's one of
What is that link?
the tricky questions people ask in interviews. Sorry, just look for in Google.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, definitely. No problem.
JavaWorld.com and JavaDue.com.
This is one of them, and definitely this is one of the tricky questions, even for very experienced people. Go back and if you want to make if you want to do some show off with other people who are really experienced, ask this question. Okay, so you can convince people with this one. It's pretty interesting. I love to talk about it. So okay, guys, thanks. And by the way, previous recording has been uploaded. Sorry, Jyoti. I know you reminded me yesterday itself, but I saw your email this morning, so it's done. I'll do it this one also in a couple of hours. Take care.
Bye.
I missed the last class, so that's why. But I went through the other one,
Okay.
like the previous batch video. So
Wonderful.
I'm clear about.
Wonderful. Sure. Take care, everybody. Bye now.
So the next class is on Tuesday only, correct?
Right. Tuesday. Actually, let's talk about it for one.
Are we meeting
few
tomorrow?
seconds. Oh yeah, definitely. You must be meeting.
Yeah.
Please, all of
Who
you
is
meet,
taking
right?
care of the hosting the party? The point is who is hosting it?
Yeah. Who is hosting Monday? Jyoti, will you be able to do it or no?
No, sometimes I get some late if I have meetings or anything. I can, because I am in CST time, so 5:30 I should be available. So sometimes it will be 6 o'clock by the time I'm available. So
I got it. Who wants to do it tomorrow? Lena, will you be able to do it? Lena Anand?
Yes, Venkat.
You sure? Are you sure you can do it? Oh, Uma said she can do it too. Okay, good. Then, okay. Bye now. One of you can do it. Okay.
Right. Thanks, Venkat. Have a good day.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.